Hello, gorgeous, and good morning. Happy Wisdom Wednesday. I am super excited that you have decided to come back to my platform this week. And this Wisdom Wednesday, we are talking about things that may happen as you heal. I try to be really upfront with you and tell you things that other coaches aren't going to tell you. And so this week, we're going to talk about some things that happen as you heal. We've already discussed how the growth process or the healing process is accompanied by a grieving process because people are going to start falling away. Just this week, I've had at least 3 clients reach out and be like, I had more friends when I was just living large and reckless and doing all these things than I have now. It's so isolating, it's so lonely. And I had to remind them that that is because you have chosen to step out of the box that's been created for you. And so you're literally your existence, your choosing to do better is highlighting for others how they have not chosen to do better, how they have played small and not lived up to their dreams. And it generates a fear in them that they're going to lose you, that you're going to outgrow them, that you're going to forget about them. And whether it's fortunate or unfortunate, if they choose to remain stagnant and they don't grow with you or they're not supportive of you, then that will be true. It will be absolutely true. And y'all know what I say, heal anyway. You are entitled to living the life of your dreams if you're willing to put in the work. So that's just that on that. Okay. So grab your pen, tag your friends. We're going to talk about some of the other things that happen during your healing journey. So, first things first, you may become aware of emotions that you have suppressed. When you start to heal, when you start to look at things as they are and you're not blowing things out of proportion and you're not like always looking for how someone's trying to get at you or get back at you or, push you over, you start to recognize places that you have suppressed emotions. We talked earlier this week about how there are 5 big emotions, and generally fear, anger, and sadness are those that we kind of push to the side. Really, I ain't got time to feel that right now. I don't want to look weak. I don't want to look like I can't handle my emotions. I've got this. So we suppress those emotions. But as you start to heal and you experience similar experiences, or you really start to reflect over what's happened to you recognize some things that you have suppressed. I want you to know that that simple awareness is huge. It's huge because so many of us walk around on autopilot. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And it's not fine. We have conditioned ourselves to take whatever or to believe whatever or to put up with whatever. And when you start to heal, you start to recognize the different emotions. In last week's masterclass, Woosah, and I talked about the 6-step blueprint for mastering your emotions. One of the steps was to develop a management plan for that. So if you're interested in working with me to develop a management plan, drop plan below and you and I will sit down together and we can work on a plan for when those uncomfortable emotions come up. Okay. Number 2 is you may grieve the loss of the person that you used to be. That's okay, and it's totally normal. So if you were the hype girl, if you were the party girl, if you were the girl who always had all the snacks and your fridge was stocked and people could just come in and you housed people for the weekend and you have decided that you are going to change from your party ways, there is going to be some grief that comes along with having an empty house or having a less crowded house or not always being the first person that people call when they've got tickets to do something or go somewhere. That is normal. You may grieve those parts. It's okay to let something go and be sad about letting it go, especially if you know that that release is what's best for you. Okay. Number 3 is you may have some setbacks along the way. I cannot tell you how often that I get people and they're raring to go for like 4 weeks. They've got all this momentum and then they have a lapse and they don't make it to the gym or they didn't do their reading or they didn't listen to their podcast or they didn't go live twice in the week, whatever goal they have set for themselves. And then they start to beat themselves up. The truth of the matter is, you are normal. You have habits, you're conditioned to behave in a certain way. And even when you're doing the best that you can, it's easy to slip into an old habit or to mess up. That does not invalidate all the progress that you made. You're human. And so you get to forgive yourself and you get to get back on the horse and you get to try again. So a lapse or even a relapse for a period of time before you catch yourself, as long as you get back on the wagon, you are going to be okay. The next thing that you may experience is you may outgrow some relationships and you may gain some new relationships. So, me personally, when I decided that I was going to invest in myself and start this professional and personal development journey and to become next level Kayla, I lost some people. I lost some people that I had been like this with because they were afraid of how far I would go. They had their own fears and they projected them onto me. And my answer was, yeah, no, I don't need that energy. I don't need that energy. When you sit with warriors, when you sit with thought leaders, when you sit with people who are willing to take the chance on investing in themselves, investing in their business, investing in the next level of them, the conversation is different and the belief in your potential is different. Like finding your tribe is such a huge deal. It can have the biggest impact on whether or not you are successful in finding your tribe. Finding your tribe can make or break you, okay? And so sometimes you have to create your own. We've talked about that a little bit, but know that you might lose some relationships, but you're also going to gain some. Next, you may recognize harmful cycles that you have gone through in the past. And for me, that showed up primarily in dating because I recognized that I, out of habit, was choosing relationships where the man was emotionally unavailable or emotionally unintelligent or immature. And it's because I love to save people. I love to save people. But when I started my healing journey, I started to recognize that I cannot heal your pain. I cannot love you into loving me back. I cannot love you into speaking my love language. I can't do those things. And when I became the very best version of myself, I began to attract people who were available to me and what I needed. And so that's the way it showed up for me. But it could literally be anything. You could recognize that, oh, I have a cycle of drinking, or I have a cycle of overworking myself. I have a cycle of people pleasing. I have a cycle of being a perfectionist. I have it could be anything, but you start to recognize that when you start your healing journey. Oftentimes, the very next thing is that you will feel like things are getting worse before they get better. You may feel like things are getting worse before they get better. And this has shown up for me a lot in investing in coaching because it's like I want to make more money. I want to have more time freedom. I want to have more financial ability to do more things with my kids. And as a result, that means I've had to invest in myself. So I'm paying higher prices for my coaching. I'm paying higher prices for my workshops. I'm paying higher prices for these things. And it's like I'm trying to make more money and I'm paying more money out. But the investment has been well worth it, right? And so sometimes people will be like, Kayla, all I wanted to do was get a bunch of great friends. And so I started changing this and changing that. Now I feel so isolated. And that is because in order to get better, you have to sacrifice and shuck off all the things that you don't need. It's that plant mentality where you have to purge and you have to pull off all the flowers that don't work, all the leaves that are dead or molded or not good, so that you can salvage the plant and then it can grow bigger than it ever was. Okay. So it may seem like it gets worse before it gets better, but I promise you it gets better. Finally, when you are going through your healing process, you are going to grow in ways that you did not think possible. You're just going to grow by like leaps and bounds. Once you know what's possible for yourself, I say all the time, when you start treating yourself better, when you start taking better care of your body, when you start paying attention to what you are consuming, and that's mind, body, and soul, the world, it's kind of like the universe, and God just kind of opens up. They're like, okay, girl, you can have it. But you're never going to know that it's possible if you don't open yourself up to it. So you're going to achieve things, see things, do things, be extended the opportunity for things that you never even imagined. And it's all because you chose to heal. I love you, girl. I want the best for you, girl. I hope that this was helpful for you. This one's a little bit longer than most of my Wisdom Wednesdays, but I felt like it's important to share with you some of the things that may happen on your healing journey. So, let me invite you to something super cool and then I'll let you go. Tomorrow at 6:35 p.m., I am going to be doing a live Q&A. Ask Coach K. You can literally ask me anything. You can show up and ask me during the live segment, or you can drop your questions below this live. You can send them to my DMs, or there is something in my stories every day this week up until Thursday. So Ask me your questions because I totally want to answer. And as always, you can come and join me in the plot twist if you aren't always there. Have an excellent Wednesday on purpose, sis. And we will chat in the next one.